is extremely concerned with the truth and with justice and what is right. Does this make sense for you?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You're a natural teacher, whether or not you realize this, because Sagittarius energy is looked on as the wise sage. So I'm sure you've had that experience of people coming to you for counsel. And what is most interesting is that having Neptune on the ascendant, the only negative thing about that is probably more so when you were younger. Hopefully now you've learned how to work with this energy. You might not have always known who you were. There's almost a slippery, elusive nature about your identity. And you might have had an interesting journey to figure out who you are and what your place in this world is. Does that make sense?
It does, and I guess I've kind of embraced that as part of the fun of the ride, is finding new things that find interest for me. So that kind of fits in quite well, actually.
Elizabeth, do you have any specific questions for Maria?
I guess I'm not sure how relationships can be read from this chart, and the fact that I am quite a nurturer is very accurate. I share my life with a Virgo, and I don't know if that's something that she could expound on a little bit, if that's something she does, or if she's got any tips or hints.
I would need the other person's birth information. That's called a relationship analysis, and that's different from a natal analysis. What I can do is look at your birth chart and, in general, tell you what I see coming up. And as far as the relationship, the compatibility that you have with this Virgo, you don't go by the sun signs, okay? Obviously, a Cancer and a Virgo are compatible in general. However, there's so much more. You want to look at your Venus, that's the planet of love. You want to look at the moon, that's your emotional connection to each other. Your Mercury, it's how you communicate. So there's a lot more to look at, and it's worthwhile to get a relationship consultation if you're in a committed partnership. What I will tell you that comes out strongly in your birth chart is that if it hasn't already happened, there is a move happening. There's a lot of domestic upheaval. I think this is going to happen more in 2009, towards the second half of 2009, and I don't know if you're thinking about moving or if you already sense the kind of instability. And it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's just instability. It's things are shaky, and there are changes happening, and you feel them. Does this make sense?
Yes and no. I mean, I guess maybe I've been sticking my head in the sand about it a little bit, and maybe this means I need to pay a little more attention to things. But a Cancer doesn't like to leave her home, and I've made quite a nest here, and maybe that's part of it, but I need to maybe look at that.
Okay, so you're in a situation right now where you're avoiding facing the truth about the domestic situation?
I think it'd be more career-related than a domestic situation that would make me move. But
the move would be because of career,
right?
But it would be a geographic relocation.
Possibly, yes.
Okay, I'm going to tell you it's not possible. It's very likely. It's definitely something that will happen sometime in 2009. And when I say something with this much certainty, it's because you're having a direct mathematical hit. That's the beauty of astrology, is that we can time events based on math. And just to tell you briefly why I'm telling you this, you have the fourth house, which is the part of your chart that's your home and your roots and your family and your soul and where you feel safe. It is at 23 degrees, 46 minutes of Pisces. And right now in the sky, the planet Uranus is moving through late degree Pisces. It's about 21 degrees Pisces right now. In the second half of 2009, it's going to move to directly align with your fourth house cusp. And Uranus represents sudden, unexpected changes. It is the planet of revolution. It takes you out of your comfort zone. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. So it's interesting that you're saying, as a Cancer, no, you don't want to leave your nest. But you know what? the universe is going to give you a cosmic butt kick because it's the next level you're supposed to go to for your career. It's supposed to take you into the direction you're meant to go. And I know it's scary for someone who's a Cancer to kind of start over, and security is so important to you, especially family security and that domestic harmony. Remember that if you fight a Uranus transit, the changes are often more difficult to get used to. If you embrace this time and learn how to roll with the punches a little, and when something happens that you didn't expect, take it in stride, it'll be a lot less stressful because the universe is never trying to hurt you. It's just trying to push you in the direction that it knows your soul signed up to go. All right?
Okay.
So,
and this is late in 2009, you said?
Yeah, I would say the second half of 2009. Now, it's not just a one-time thing. This is what's interesting about Uranus and all of the outer planets. When they transit a point in your chart or a planet, you usually get 3 exact mathematical hits. The first one is usually the most dramatic, though. So you're up for your first one in 2009. And I could be a little bit off with the timing because I did not put your, I'm not doing predictive work on my software right now, so all I'm doing is staring at your natal chart and just guessing in my head when, from the positions that I know, when I'm pretty sure Uranus will be at 23 degrees, and it will be in 2009 for sure.
Okay.
So what do you think, Elizabeth?
I'm very fascinated in maybe getting some more information. This is definitely a teaser.
Sorry.
No, this is fascinating. It's just, I've always been, I've known I'm a pretty much textbook Cancer, so it's fun to hear a little bit more in depth about it, though.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on the show tonight.
Sure. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Well, we go from Elizabeth over to Zachary. We have Zachary on the line. Are you there, Zach?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, hi, Zach. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We've already shared Zach's information with Maria. Zach, Maria, and I'll let you guys take it from there.
Hi, Zachary. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Have you ever had your astrological chart read before?
No.
Okay, so this is new territory for you.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'll do is, unfortunately, there's no way to get to everything in such a short amount of time. I'll give you a glimpse and a little snapshot of what I see happening, as well as your personality and your character and some of your life lessons that are illustrated through your astrology, okay? The first thing is obviously you're a Gemini. Everyone knows their sun sign and a little bit about their sun sign. As a Gemini, Zachary, you have, as a matter of fact, you don't just have your sun in Gemini. You've got Mercury, the planet of communication in Gemini. You've got Mars, the planet of energy and action and ambition in Gemini. And you've got a point called the North Node, which is your life direction. All of this is in Gemini. So you are a super Gemini, which means you're someone who is intellectually insatiable. You cannot learn enough. You communicate like crazy, learning, talking. You are so interested in so many different subjects. And your goal in life is to basically learn what you can and integrate it into your life and share it with others. Your communication in partnerships specifically is just so important for you that without it, it's a relationship killer. Does this make sense for you?
Yeah, that all sounds spot on.
Okay. You're, as a Gemini, you may have had some life lessons early on where you either doubted your own intelligence or you kind of had to go out of your way to prove your intelligence. It's very common with Gemini energy because you are, the area of your chart that Gemini rules is early childhood education. So it's possible that there was some issues there when you were younger. And by no means does it mean that you are intellectually inferior. As a matter of fact, the opposite is true. You are someone with a profound mind, amazing depth of intellect and mental energy. And some people might accuse you of thinking too much, that you just never stop, that you always have these new ideas.